Hello, welcome everybody. Sorry, we had some technical issues. Beautiful Monday to everyone. Really apologize, but hopefully we have everything sorted. So my name is Fatima, and I'm the audience engagement lead at Prime Progress Nigeria, and I'll be moderating this amazing event. And so here at Prime Progress, we're a solution and focused media platform, and we're documenting how people are responding and solving social problems. Today, which is July 16th, as you all know, we're celebrating World Youth Skills by highlighting key figures to provide young people an opportunity to rise. So here's some stats for you. 600 million new jobs are needed in the next 15 years to meet youth employment needs. And the youth population is expected to grow by 78 million between 2021 and 2030, with most of that population growth being in third world countries and low income countries, right? So we need education and training systems that will adapt and help us meet this new challenge. And so, as a solution journalism platform, today we'll be talking about those solutions and hopefully we'll be inspiring you to replicate this. So joining me today is Mr. Mohammed Auwal. He's the founder of Flowdiary, an e-learning platform that teaches digital skills for self-reliance in Hausa language. Very interesting. And we'll be having Maryam Sambo. She's the founder of Little Set Hands Matter Initiative. Maryam Sambo is a business consultant with 5 years experience, specializing in management, human capacity, training in the hospitality industry. So, Mr. Awal, it's pleased to meet you actually. How are you doing?
Hello, thank you so much. Can you hear me, please?
Yes.
Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right.
Yes,
Thank you so much for this. All right. Thank you so much for this wonderful event. I'm very grateful to be here. I'm very grateful to be here to join you on this Youth Skill Day. It is very good to be like I feel enjoyed to be invited to this wonderful event because there are so many things that we would like to discuss and to share to our fellow youths, which will help us like get interest about learning these skills, especially the ones we are doing in Florida.
Yeah, amazing work you're doing, actually. So my first question for you is, what inspired you to create this amazing e-learning platform? And how did you come up with this idea to teach digital skills in Hausa language?
All right, this is a good question. First of all, let me say three things drag our attention to create Flowdiary. Firstly, there's this language barrier. You know, most of online user generated content are in the English language. When you go to Wikipedia, Google, Facebook, and others, because English overtakes the word. So, but there are some people in my community, in my region, who don't understand English and could not comprehend the language as clearly as they could comprehend their local language. So this draws our attention to provide a unique platform that will enable them to learn these digital skills in their native language or their local language to help them build careers in the tech industry. Secondly, with the advent of new technologies, there are so many terms, or let me say, there are so many capabilities of them, like opportunities, for instance, opportunities that they need to enroll, they need to get started with. But due to lack of mentorship, this prevents them from getting enrolled or getting attached to this tech industry. For instance, now, as of Get Bundi Search 2053, it says 85% of Nigerian graduates don't have digital skills.
Very true.
Hello, are you talking?
A lot of yes, yes. I can hear you. Hopefully, you can hear me.
Yes.
Yeah. Our second speaker rather, she just joined. You're hearing her voice in the background.
So yes, this
So yeah, this is very
Okay.
interesting. Yeah. Okay, so I will just continue. So yeah, this is very interesting because a lot of there's so much information out there, and if you are an individual who can only speak a certain language, let's say Hausa language, for example, it might kind of cut you off from accessing those important tools that you need. So my next question here is, can you share some experience with the whole process of building Flow Diary? What did you have to go through? Because there are lots of people, I believe, lots of youth who want to establish platforms, who want to make a change there, but they don't really know how to go about it. So using Flow Diary as an example, what did you have to go through? What were the steps, the processes that you had to go through to really overcome?
Excuse me, were you asking my experience about building Flowdiary?
Yes, I was asking you, Mr. Awal.
Okay. Firstly, bringing this kind of project in a community where we lack it, we get less access to it, is a bit kind of challenge. But when we understand the kind of needs of people, once we started to like activities, gather our friends, and what we have to get started with it. And the first thing about it is that people who wants to develop careers, who want to build careers in the tech industry, already have interest in it. And we are trying harder to make those people who don't even have experience, who don't have interest in it, to have interest in it, because say over 600 million jobs will be created in the youth. So we are trying harder to make them like come up and join us to learn these computer skills in very simple terms, in very simple access, to get access to it easily.
Yes, very interesting. So Miriam, we can see and hear you. Please welcome. We're live.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. So I see that you have such a. I went on your LinkedIn page. You have such a wide range of perspective. So I wanted you to really talk about your foundation, your initiative, and what it is, and how you started, some stories you want to share with your inception to your detection stage.
Sorry, I didn't hear the last thing you said.
Yeah. So I was asking. So what motivated you to start Little Hand initiative, right? What was from your background in business consulting, all of that? How did that help you play? How did that play a major role in creating that initiative?
Okay. Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me here. So, first, a little gifted hand. Let me tell you what we're about. So, our primary focus is mitigating poverty and minimizing crime by empowering out of school children in remote areas through automotive skill repairs. So, the motivation is the gap existing in the community where I grew up in. So the first branch we have is situated in my local government, all right, and that's because I know the area very well. I grew up there, so I know the challenges there. So the motivation actually is because we have in Basa local government in Plateau State, we have illegal mining issues, and then we also have drug abuse problems among the youth. All right. So the motivation initially was the targets that I have in mind, the people to help were teenagers from 17, and then people in their early 20s. But due to the course of my research, started a little research before I started the NGO. Because of my research and then survey, I found that. Please give me a second, please.
Sure. Okay, sure.
Oh my. Mhm. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, okay. So during the course of the research, and the background, survey, everything, I found that the teenagers in the area who are already used to earning, right, illegally, they're already used to earning money illegally. And then, I mean, they already have an alcohol problem. So they will not be rescued. They already, all their interest is money and not, not something, not legal work, basically. So I had to find a different target. So that's why I had to go for I had to go for boys 7 to 13, and then girls 8 to 15. So the motivation basically is the gap I was there, you know. So and then also being someone who has been doing business and then consulting for a long time, it, I didn't just start the nonprofit blindly. I know how to go about it, which was why I had to do a background, a survey, and all that. I put everything together even before I started. So yeah, so that helped inform me what I'm, getting myself to.
Yes, very interesting, especially with the age range you decide to work with and then your background. But can you share with us, were there any challenges to experience? Of course, I know that starting off anything. So what challenges did you face?
I'm made, but it's funding, to be honest. The major challenge is funding because I'm funding from my pocket. I've been doing this for a year and then it's all from my pocket. And then also another challenge would be the relapse of the beneficiaries. So I'm dealing with rural children and then, with their parents who don't see the need for this kind of initiative, but myself knowing better, so I try to educate the parents and the children because the parents would actually prefer that their children are, bringing in money every day, hawking. So for the little children, the challenge I've had with them is they're into hawking and then farming for money. So somebody comes, takes the children, takes to their farms, then they farm and they pay the children, all right, and then the illegal mining that they go daily. So that brings them money on a daily. But now taking those children and then uh, uh, enrolling them into a program to learn, which the automotive training lasts the course of 5 years. So they won't start to see any money, any daily income, at least for the first 2 years until they're able to learn something tangible, to do. So we're having challenges. That's telling the parents, "Oh, just relax, little time. Your child will learn how to do this and maybe learn how to change a tire, get the money for it, or pump air, in the tire, get some money for it." So those are the challenges we're being faced with. Parents, children too, who are used to money, and then funding that it's not coming.
Yeah. So how do you overcome this challenge? I'm curious. So you said you had a conversation with the parents and the community, I guess. But were there any
Yeah.
other things you did to sort of solve this problem?
Okay. I involved the community. I mean, the community leaders as well. Um, uh, Traditional leaders, spiritual leaders, pastors, moms. So I go to them. I'm like, okay, I'm doing this thing for the good of the community. So in church, at the mosque, I need you to keep, encouraging these parents and then, lecture them on the need for their children to be in this program because you have 7-year-old, digging in the tin mining and everything, that ages them. It's the hazards of it. So I tell the community leaders like, oh, this is how you go about it. Tell the parents also, and then try to shame them as well. Any parents who engages their children into child labor, should be shamed. So try to shame them in their places of worship in the community. So we also do that. So aside the spiritual leaders and then the community leaders, I go with my team. I have a team of volunteers who work with me, door to door. And then, we try to engage the parents and friendly communication and then try to understand where they're coming from, to be honest. Because what we got to understand is it's not that the parents, these are poor people, all right? So it's not like they're looking for millions to buy cars or to be rich. No, they're just trying to look for.
Obviously. Mm. Hello, Maryam, can you hear us? Hello? Okay. Mr. Auwal, I don't know if you're still with us. I sort of lost Miriam there. Just making a very good point on her awareness and sort of Mr. Auwal, yes. 10 questions to you, I guess. What challenges have you faced while you're building and running Flowdiary, and how did you overcome them?
Can you please repeat the question?
Yes. So I was asking what challenges you faced in the course of running uh, Flowdiary and how you sort of managed and overcame those problems.
You're asking about the problems we're facing in Flowdiary?
Yes. Yes. Yes, I was.
All right. There's so many problems in any startup. For instance, now getting started from early stage. Um, but in our own case, the exact problem we are facing is trying to make those people, the youth among us, to understand the potential or the opportunities we are bringing to them, like the need for our startup to be in their career. So now there are so many challenges we are facing apart from this problem that lighten the youth that need this kind of skills. And the second thing is that our youths are eager to make money quickly. But what we are doing is that we are not teaching them how to make money. We're not teaching them the skills that they need. We are only teaching them the skills that they need to build their careers in the tech industry. Because once you build your career, you surely earn. But they are eager to make money. So these are just these challenges or the problems we are facing in our earlier startup. And the third one is that we lack funding. As an earlier stage startup, we need funding to raise our ideas to get to other people to get to know what we are doing and help them roll to lighten our system about it. So these are just the challenges and the problems we are facing at the area stage.
Yes, thank you so much. But Mr. Awa, I don't know if you could just repeat how you are overcoming those challenges. I sort of missed that part. I think I had a connection. So how you were solving the challenges you mentioned.
Registration? What?
Yes, how you are solving this problem for Flowdiary. Oh,
I'm sorry, I can't hear you clearly.
oh dear. Uh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. So I was asking the way you overcome those problems that you mentioned.
Okay. The first step we are taking to overcome the problems is that we are still taking parts to enlighten our brothers and sisters about what we are doing. The first problem is about enlightenment, and the second thing about to put an end to this quick money scheme is that we are also trying to make them understand that Upload Dairy does not give them opportunity to be just. It's not an investment scheme. It's not a quick get rich quick scheme. We are just teaching digital skills. And the third challenge is about funding. We are like attracting the attentions of our investors, NGOs, and other governmental organizations to help us secure funding for our startup to have our fellow youths get enrolled to this process and build their careers in the tech industry. So we are trying to put an end to the challenges we are currently facing in this space.
And that's good work. You're right, because we live in an era where people want things that they want it now. Don't want to work as hard. And so I think one of the main reasons for this is the invention of technology. I can put it like that. And so people are used to having things easier. So here's my question to you, Miss Maryam, because you talked at length about the work you're doing, challenges and solutions, right? But I just want to ask in a global scale, right? What role do you think technology plays in developing the skills of, let's say, Nigerians? And how do you think they can specifically leverage technology to maximize their benefits for their future success?
Sorry, if I get you correctly, is it narrowed down to Nigerian youth or little gifted hands matter?
Okay, we could start with Nigeria because we're here, and then if you want to talk on the from a global perspective, I think that's fine.
Okay, so how technology can impact their what knowledge, their learning?
Yeah. So how can youth use technology? Because it's saying technology is at the center of everything. It's at the center of how we communicate. It's at the center of how we learn. It's at the center of how we make money, right? sort of the cornerstone to everything these days. And at the same time, it seems like our youths are not properly leveraging technology, or case of what Auwal said. They could be using the technology, but maybe in the wrong way. So how, in your opinion, right, with the work that you're doing, how do you think they can properly leverage technology in order to prepare a better future?
But I think the more important thing we also need to talk about is if they have access to the technology we're talking about. To be honest, um, I think I have people really say, "Oh, how can we, that's youth like myself, into tech. Say, how can they help? For example, the beneficiaries, uh, how can they teach them something even remotely from where they are? And then the challenges is, can you hear me?
Yes, yes. Please go ahead. I can hear you clearly.
Okay. So first off, language, right? We have barriers that we cannot even. Language is a barrier. So if you want to, it's not like we have the children I'm dealing with. They're from Plateau, right? And then some of them, as common as Hausa is in the north, middle belt, they don't understand Hausa. So there are people who offer to work with me, partner with me to teach them something from where they are, on a screen. But now language is a barrier, and then even connection is a barrier, like internet connection. Mostly, but like when I go there to work in the field, sometimes I don't have connection for days. All right, so there are challenges. So aside that, the youth are not leveraging on technology to to learn this and that. We have barriers that it's above them. So for me, there's language, there's bad internet connection, and then So for other youths though,
Yeah.
anyway, for other youth, other places, I think it's what's the word I'm looking for? There has to be orientation, right? There has to be orientation on the need for technology and all that. There has to be orientation first, because for now in Nigeria, people take tech to just be, social media. That's all. That's where it stops at. So there has to be some form of orientation for them, the need, and then how it can impact their lives, and there has to be orientation first before we start to do anything else. So that has to be infused from our from our primary schools, I think.
I 100% agree with you, because sometimes the broader question is what how readily available is it, right? And like you said, even though everybody has a smartphone, most people are using smartphones here on social media, so they should have access to this information, but because of language, they don't. And I think that is one of the things that we are Prime Progress trying. We're trying to sort of bridge the gap, even with the program we're doing now, making sure that people have technology, right? They somehow are able, we're able to help them navigate their way into into a situation where they can better use technology, give them better opportunities. So, Mr. Well, same question, because you have Flowdiary, right, which is a prominently or predominantly technology based company. So, what do you think are better ways that we can leverage technology to give them better opportunities? Mr. Awal, are you still with us? I apologize. I think we simply blocked. So I'm going to be closing with just a short quote, some stats actually. And it says, youth unemployment is a major concern and it's often double the adult rate. African Development Bank Group reported African age 15 to 35 are unemployed or under, while Nigeria's current employment rate sits at about 5%, which is actually a lot higher than expected. Podcast was of so I really want to thank our speakers, Ms. Maryam, Sambo, and Auwal for an amazing session. And I don't know if you have any last words, Maryam.
Sorry, I lost you.
Yes. So I was asking any last
So I was asking any last words you'd like to share for Opo?
Any last words I'd like to share?
Yes. Any last words you'd like to share before we
Oh.
close?
Okay, just thank you for having me. And then honestly, more of this, and I think we should try to get as much youth to attend sessions like this. Probably a thing or two. You know,
Yeah.
I'm happy. I'm happy to.
Yeah.
I'm happy you have. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Well said. I agree. We definitely need more of people like you, Miss Miriam. I was really inspired when you said that funding your initiative out of pocket. That's really very commendable. And like I said, purpose of this session, one of the purpose of this session is to hopefully inspire us to create some of these solutions in our community. So thank you so much, Miss Miriam. Thank you, Mr. Mohammed. We kind of lost you there, but thank you so much. And I really hope that have another meeting.